My good friend Phil Green from the Philip Green Show on YouTube has been harassing me for weeks to do some Suicide Squad nails. So I put it out there on social media. What did you guys want to see? Something with Harley Quinn or something really pretty and delicate? And Harley Quinn was unanimous. So I listened to you guys and here it is. I hope you enjoy. Please don't forget to subscribe and give me a big thumbs up and let me know what else you would like to see on this channel. As always, after doing cuticle work, I'm cleansing my nails with isopropyl alcohol and going straight in to apply a peel-off base coat. I do this because I like to be able to remove my nails quite quickly and easily without using too much acetone, which can be drying. And with the British weather suddenly getting quite cool again, I'm having to use a hairdryer to speed this up because it seems to be taking forever at the moment. I picked up this cheekily named polish about 2 weeks ago and it's a perfect pale skin tone for this look, so apply this to all 10 nails nice and carefully on the first coat, and this will mean that you can apply your second coat much quicker. Once your first coat is dry, just go straight in with your second coat and apply nice and evenly. If you make any mistakes, just clean it up with a brush dipped in nail polish remover or acetone. And full links to all the products and tools I've used are in the description. Then I went and whacked my finger, so quite easily you just lick your finger, I know it sounds a bit gross, but lick your finger and then stroke over the top to smooth the look in. Now it's time to start Harley Quinn's eyes, and I'm just using a regular pencil in the soft polish to mark out some dots of the shape of where I want the eye to be. And we're going to do this on our middle finger and on our ring finger. Next I'm going to be using OPI's Alpine Snow. Now I tend to swap between Colour Club French Tip and OPI Alpine Snow depending what I'm doing because French Tip can be a little bit thick and gloopy. And for the whole look I'm using this fine detail nail art brush from Nail Artisan. With the white, start to draw your eye following the dots that you put on the nail before and just do the outline. Don't worry if it's messy because you can tidy it up again afterwards, and then just fill in the inside with the white. Once you're happy with the shape, it's time to outline in black, and this one from Morgan Taylor is currently my absolute favourite black. It's got a fantastic opaque coverage and is really easy to use with a fine detail brush, as you can see here. Once you've outlined the eye, we're just going to draw a sort of circle for the iris shape of the eye. Again, don't worry if you don't do this too perfectly, we can correct this afterwards. And then I'm just going to thicken up those lines on the outsides of the eye. Next we're going to be using a large dotting tool, but we will be using some other sizes in this tutorial as well, and OPI's Gelato on my mind. Using a large size dotting tool, I'm just going to fill in the inside of the iris with the Gelato on my mind. Then I'm going to take one of my favourites, OPI's My Pal Joey. This is so versatile, this colour, I use it so much. And mixing it with a little bit of the OPI Gelato on my mind, we're going to get a slightly softer blue and just do little strokes around the outside of the iris. This is to add a little depth and definition. Now again, taking the Gelato on my mind, I'm just going to do a line over the top like it's an eyelid, and this is again just to add some depth. Then with OPI's My Pal Joey, we're going to do a nice thick line underside of the eye, all the way along. I find it easiest to work from one side to the centre, and then the other side to the centre. And now we're going to start to do that streaky makeup effect, and as you can see, it's really easy. I'm just doing some strokes down on a curve, and then fill in the gap at the side. I'm aiming for a slightly pop artish comic book look, but I really want to get that look of the smeared makeup, so here I'm just literally getting very little on the brush, wiggling it along and just dragging the brush over to give a sort of streaky, smudged look. And then taking a dotting tool on your black, we're going to bring this to life by adding the pupil in the centre. And don't worry if it's slightly uneven, you can go back in with some blue on a brush and just really straighten it out. Now I'm going to give a heavier makeup look by starting to really lay on that black quite thick, and we're just going to do it around the underside and the top of the eye and add some lashes in, of course. And these are really easy but effective to do, and you literally just flick your brush on a curve and it gives you that lovely lash effect with a nice thin pointed tip. And just repeat exactly the same on the upper part of the eye. And please don't panic if you think you've made any mistakes or made a mess. It can all be corrected with some more polish. And I did that a few times here where I went into the white too much and just added a little bit of extra white to cover the black again afterwards. And then I just mixed some black with the blue from my pal Joey to create a very sort of deep midnight blue and just dappled it around the outside edge. To create some eyebrows, I'm going to be using All That Jazz, Bang the Drums, and this is a really versatile brown which I think is pretty much a staple. And I'm mixing it with a little bit of clear to make it sort of semi-opaque, and then just applying almost little tiny brush strokes like hairs around the cuticle area. However, I realised it looked a bit odd, so I added a thin layer of Flesh Colour Tan My Hide just above the hairs on the eyebrow. Now to begin Harley Quinn's other eye and hair, we're going to be using ESSIE Watermelon, and we're going to do exactly the same thing as we did with the blue eye. Then I got totally disorientated and forgot how to do a mirror image and ended up doing my brush stroke the wrong way, so I had to wipe it off with a brush damped with acetone and then realised it was marking it too much, so I had to go back in with Tan My Hide just on that bottom section and reapply just to smooth it back out again. Whilst I waited for that to dry, I went in with the pink over the top of the eye, and again we are just duplicating what we did with the blue, so applying it quite thickly at first. And then having a bit of a drier brush, we're going to drag the polish over to give that smeared, blurred look. Then after a slight hesitation to check myself, it's time to add the smeared makeup under the eye now that the polish is dry. And you can see it's really easy but so effective. Then with the same large dotting tool, we're going to add that pupil, and you can see it really coming to life now. This is where it gets really fun. This is the stage of nail art designs I really enjoy as you start to add the detailing and it starts to really come alive. Now it's time to start adding the hair, and on the little finger I'm taking the OPI My Pal Joey and just doing a sort of wiggly line down the nail and then starting to fill it in on one side. I had a little white highlighting at the top of the area, and that's just to give the look of the blonde blending into the blue, and then we're just going to add some curls of hair in the blue. Next I'm taking Orly's Skinny Dip, and there's a few saucy names in here today, that's not intentional I can promise you. We're just going to add some highlighting, and this is basically just little swirly lines down the hair just to add a little bit of definition. I'm then going to repeat that around the curls as well, just to add a little bit of sort of almost comic book effect to it really. It's time to do the index finger with the pink, and we're doing exactly the same again, and this is using the ESSIE's Watermelon, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You can see the way I'm doing it, I just sort of feel my way as I go along really. And again, once we've had the curls, I'm going in with a neon colour, and this is amazing. It's Hip Hot Coral from Morgan Taylor, and it's a sort of neon corally pink. It's fantastic. And once we've finished the hair, we're going to add that cute little heart beauty spot, and I'm just using black and a dotting tool to create sort of a dot and then a flick really, and you join them together in the centre. And if you want to sharpen it up, you can just use a fine detail brush. And now we're putting the finishing touches to our look. With a fine dotting tool, I'm adding a little blob of white just on the edge of the pupil, and then turn round to the needle point and add a tiny one next to it, and that gives that three-dimensional effect. Now it's time for the thumb, and I thought something really easy for the thumb. We'll just do some hearts. So I'm using a large dotting tool here, but I'm starting to make a bit of a mess of it because I find it harder with the large dotting tools. So I'm actually using my fine detail brush to really tidy up that heart. And then just using our pinks and blues, add some more hearts in a graduated effect. And then it's time to top coat, and I have to be honest, I'm still not used to this top coat. It's my fault, I'm used to my sesh feet, and I keep over applying it. However, it doesn't matter too much with this look because you do want a generous layer of top coat to stop any lumps and bumps from all the layers that we've applied. And you can always tidy up with a brush dipped in acetone anyway afterwards. Finish off with a slick of cuticle oil and we're done! And here are finished Harley Quinn nails from Suicide Squad. I loved the look of Harley Quinn's makeup and I just wanted to capture it in this tutorial. Please let me know in the comments section below what you think of these nails and if you're going to give them a go. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this. Please don't forget to subscribe for more videos twice a week.